with the Austin-Undertaker feud taken to the next level last Thursday in the build to another Austin vs. Taker pay-per-view singles match in 13 days at Judgment Day. Mick Foley made an unadvertised return, coming out to a big ovation from the hometown crowd in Long Island, coming in good timing to plug his second book Foley Is Good, which comes out on Tuesday, recapping the recent state of the company since he got removed as WWF commissioner, saying that his job is now to wander around the world aimlessly and make personal appearances, which brought him back to his hometown. Hyping the upcoming Austin vs. Taker pay-per-view match, playing off Taker's catchphrase saying that he made him famous 3 years ago at Hell in a Cell, which allowed him to do other things outside the business, to segue into plugging his book just as Vince McMahon entered the building. Vince went straight to the ring, telling Foley about the changes that took place in the company since he fired him in December, including him forming an alliance with Steve Austin and indefinitely suspending Rock, saying that on the way from the parking lot he found someone to throw him out of the building to bring out the returning Rikishi, ordering him to take out Foley before Foley turned it on McMahon, to lead to an abrupt Rikishi babyface turn, laying out Regal. And with Triple H off the show tonight and Undertaker only set to have a limited role in a short promo, Rikishi was booked in the main event against Steve Austin, with the unique dynamic of their car attack feud now switched, with Austin set to work as a heel in the match, with Foley ending the promo establishing Rikishi's turn, calling for him to do his dance routine to his old music before getting thrown out of the building, with the 21-minute segment after opening with a 4, seeing the audience picking up throughout, with over 800,000 viewers to a 4.6 rating. With Kurt Angle still trying to get back his medals from Benoit, Angle told Edge and Christian to try to get Benoit if they see him in the building before working the opening match of the night against Bradshaw, going 4 minutes. And with Raw tonight coming from the Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, New York, the WWF, which used the venue in the past several weeks to shoot angles during the live Raw broadcast with appearances from Mick Foley and Linda McMahon, went a step further to capitalize on Raw being in the same New York market, with Benoit appearing from WWF New York with Angle's medals to lead to him driving after him, with Raw's first hour rating slowly going up in each quarter, with a 4.7 rating between 9:30 to 45, with the end of the Angle-Benoit segment followed by Eddie Guerrero and the Hardys against Rhino, Edge and Christian in a 6-man tag match going 3 minutes, with Eddie taking the hit for Lita from Rhino's gore to start a potential babyface turn. After being all over SmackDown on Thursday, with him throwing Austin through a glass window before attacking him in an ambulance minutes later, Undertaker was ordered by McMahon to be taken off the show, with his only appearance on the night coming in a promo from the WWF studios, with Taker saying that Vince is trying to protect his investment in Austin by banning him from the building, but he can't save Austin in 13 days when they face at the Judgment Day pay-per-view. As SmackDown, which was dominated by a more storyline-based show-long Taker vs. Austin angle, saw the show again rebounding from the near-record low 3.7 rating the previous week to jump around 700,000 viewers from a 5.8 to 6.5 million viewers on the night, continuing the unpredictable SmackDown viewership pattern of the past month, with 2 of the last 4 weeks at near-record low levels, while the other 2 in between holding steady at the normal show average numbers. Chris Jericho vs. William Regal in a match built as the feud blow-off match was placed in the second highest profile segment on the show to open the second hour in a cage match, going 8 minutes, and after trading victories on back-to-back pay-per-views at WrestleMania and Backlash in the past 2 months, Jericho won the decisive match to close the program, escaping over the top of the cage, with the match continuing the gradual viewership climb over the past hour, peaking with a 4.9 rating and the highest rated quarter and overall peak rating of the night. Austin responded to Undertaker's promo earlier in the night while recapping Taker's ambulance attack on him on SmackDown, which in a rare situation saw Paul Heyman mentioning that Taker did to Austin what Austin did to Bret Hart 4 years earlier in one of the memorable angles in Raw history in April '97, saying that Taker is scared of his response, which is why he's not in the building tonight, before hyping the Rikishi main event with a twist of the roles and the angle behind it reversal, with Austin now as the heel saying that Rikishi couldn't take him out driving a car, let alone in a match in the ring, with Raw's second hour after peaking the show with the Jericho vs. Regal cage match dropping sharply over the next 45 minutes from a 4.9 to a near-show low 4.2 rating, leading to what in recent years became an almost unheard-of situation where Raw's second hour actually had less viewers than the first, as after averaging around 5.9 million viewers between 9 to 10, the 10 to 11 p.m. hour saw the show dropping to a 5.6 million viewers average, making it by far the least watched Raw second hour of the year, and a clear indication that any crossover gain from the WCW audience is now officially gone, with the top angle of the second hour, which also featured another feud blow-off match with the Dudleys against X Factor in a tables match, saw Kurt Angle driving after Chris Benoit to WWF New York at Times Square, while at the same time Benoit drove back to the Nassau Coliseum in Long Island with his medals to build to their third straight pay-per-view match at Judgment Day. With Rock in the middle of filming his first lead role in The Scorpion King while simultaneously on a media tour to promote the release of the movie that his cameo appearance led to it in The Mummy Returns, Rock, who while only having a short cameo role in the movie was heavily promoted as one of the top names in the film, with him doing the bulk of advertising in the lead-up to the release, saw his name and status in the mainstream movie and entertainment world over the weekend elevated to new heights, with The Mummy Returns surpassing all expectations to have the highest grossing non-holiday opening weekend in movie box office history, with Rock, if not targeted to it before, now widely considered to be the potential next top action movie star in Hollywood, cemented further after signing a record contract last September for The Scorpion King to make him the highest paid actor in history for a debut lead role, as Rock, while on a media tour including an appearance on The Tonight Show commenting on his current status with the WWF and the suspension angle, saying that in due time he's gonna come back and take out Austin and McMahon, with Rock in addition to TV appearances also featuring on the cover of high-profile publications like Entertainment Weekly and USA Today, and articles which included comments from Vince McMahon on Rock's crossover potential, with McMahon, after mostly fighting with the mainstream media during the XFL season, now getting a round of strong publicity through Rock's demand, saying that Rock will break any myth associated with the wrestling business and that unlike actors who need years to build their reputation, Rock is already a household name from the WWF and can instantly draw big crowds, as with the mainstream status of its top star continuing to rise. The WWF on the night saw the TV product interest continuing to slide, with Raw seeing its rating and viewership declining for the 5th week in a row, with this week being the most alarming drop, with Raw drawing a 4.6 overall rating to drop below the 6 million viewers mark, to the same range the show was doing in recent months against Nitro competition, with the Austin vs. Rikishi main event going 7 minutes to cross into the 6-minute overrun, gaining over 700,000 viewers to finish at around the show's average with a 4.7 overrun rating. making it the lowest-rated Raw main event on a regular week since November 1999 to now have an established downward trend on both Raw and SmackDown, as the company would hope to reverse the pattern before dropping further, and pick interest back up heading into big angles planned heading into the summer.